Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another Cook With Me video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kristi. I'm currently following the WW Personal Points program, but I do provide calories on my channel as well. I'd love to have you as part of the family. So in today's video, I am throwing together a new recipe. This is a Tuscan chicken pasta recipe. And I do make a couple different changes since I actually made this, and I'll let you know that along the way. So what we need for this is 2 cloves of garlic. We also need about 3 cups of spinach, 2 Roma tomatoes, which I only end up using 1. We also have here 1 tablespoon of flour, some salt and pepper. My pepper is down at the end. Also some Italian seasoning, about a teaspoon of that. Some sun-dried tomato pesto. In this recipe, I use, I think, around 1/8 of a cup. I did change that since doing this recipe. I changed it on the recipe to 1/4 of a cup because it definitely did need more. We also need a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. I'm also using this Banza chickpea pasta, so I'm going to be using an 8-ounce box of that, and also some almond milk. This is unsweetened almond milk, 1.5 cups of that. And then I also forgot to show in there, I also need some Parmesan cheese, and we're going to do about 4 ounces of Parmesan cheese. And one thing, when you see me making this, I'm not going to be using all 4 ounces. We actually like to add fresh Parmesan when we sit down to eat, so I don't actually show that part. Over here in my Instant Pot, I have some frozen chicken breast tenderloins cooking. I love cooking those frozen. Just toss them right in the Instant Pot frozen. And I have about 1 pound of those that I'm cooking up. I also have my water boiling, and then I have a pan here that I'm going to be heating up just to add everything to it. So once the water comes to a boil, I'm just going to add in my rigatoni. These are rigatoni, but you can use whatever pasta you want. And like I said, we're going to need 8 ounces for that. So just pour that right in the water and then give it a stir. I sometimes will add a little bit of salt, sometimes a little bit of olive oil, just so that they don't stick. And then let that come to a boil and simmer it for whatever the box says. Every pasta box is different, so just go by the directions that are on your box. In this bowl, I have the olive oil and the salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. But honestly, you don't even need to put that in a bowl. You can just put it straight into the pan. You'll see I end up doing that after. So now I am just mincing up my garlic. So I had the 2 cloves of garlic there, which I'm adding into that bowl with the olive oil and spices. And I'm just going to cut up my tomatoes as well, and you'll see I end up taking 1 tomato and putting it behind me because I found that 2 of them I thought was going to be a little bit much. Now I'm going to be measuring out the 1.5 cups of the almond milk. To that, I'm going to add the 1 tablespoon of flour and then just give that a good whisk until it's all mixed together. And then once my noodles are done, I went through and there's a lot of steam there. I drained those out. So now here's where I add that olive oil and the spices. So like I said, you didn't need to add it to a bowl. I was kind of doing this, just kind of throwing things together, creating it, and just that's what happens. I realized, wait, I don't want to do it this way. Let me do it this way. So just add those to your pan. Now I'm going to take my Parmesan cheese, and I want 4 ounces of the Parmesan cheese. I like to use just real Parmesan cheese and shred it up myself. I've actually been trying to do that with all my cheese. I've been trying not to buy the shredded bag cheese and just use regular block cheese in it instead. So now I'm just making sure that I get every little bit in there. And like I said, this is not the full 4 ounces, so I didn't weigh this on a scale to get the 4 ounces. We do end up adding more to our plates after though. And then my chicken is done, and look at this guy I got on here. Found this on Amazon. It's just kind of like a steam diverter, so it doesn't go straight up and ruin your cabinets. I'll link that down below because I know a lot of you will be interested in that. And then there's my chicken. It's just the chicken breast tenderloin that I get from Sam's Club or Aldi. So now I'm going to cut up the chicken, just cut it into bite-sized pieces. And for a little bit here, the focus is off. I had it, for some reason, I went to manual focus rather than automatic focus. So bear with me. It's going to clear up here in a little bit. So like I said, just cut all your chicken pieces into bite-sized pieces. And I'll have this recipe linked down in the description box below, as well as some of the items I use, like my cutting boards, different things that I use. I try to link the things down below to Amazon. So now to the olive oil and spices and garlic, I'm going to add the chicken and just stir that around. Now here's where I add the tomato pesto, but like I said, I changed the recipe. It definitely needed more. You'll see at the end it's not really a dark color, so the noodles kind of really soak them in. So I definitely would say to use 1/4 cup. You could even add 1/2 cup if you wanted. So to that I added the tomatoes and then the milk, the unsweetened almond milk. Now just let that simmer for a few minutes. You'll see it start bubbling just a little bit, and then I'll add the spinach. There we go, it's bubbling. Now I'm going to add the 3 cups of spinach. If you want to add more, you certainly can. As we all know, spinach really kind of wilts down quite a bit, so you can definitely add more if you prefer. And then just stir that in right with that sauce until it kind of wilts into really, really small pieces. So once you've got that all mixed together, then the next thing we're going to do is add in the pasta and the Parmesan. So you really want to stir in the pasta and really let all that juice and that cream sauce get right in there real good. And then also same with the Parmesan, you really want to kind of incorporate all those ingredients and just keep stirring away. So as you can see, the color should be a little bit darker. I prefer more of the tomato pesto, but it's one of those things you can play around with if you don't want the points. For the 1/4 cup, this comes out to 8 WW personal points for me. I'll link the recipe so that it will bring you and let you know how many it is for you. And it's 315 calories for the 1/4 cup. Here's what it looks like. So like I said, it should be a little darker, but this was amazing. My husband absolutely loved this. When I told him what we were having, he was kind of not real keen on it. He doesn't care usually for a lot of pesto dishes, but he absolutely loved this one. So let me know in the comments if you end up trying this. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.